And when that album came out, man, when that album came out, bro, I couldn't even play that in the house, man. When my mother heard that, man, bro, like she tried to fight me. She
Is
tried to
he?
fight me. Yeah, oh yeah. To hear that, Snoop
Yeah.
and them saying bitch and fuck you, bitch, and motherfucker and fat ass and all that, like, yo, she was not, I come from a church home, bro. She was not going for that, bro. Hearing all that.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. So me, you know me in high school, I was very religious, and I wouldn't have thought to bring that in the house, man. So what made you think you could bring that in the house?
It's not that I thought I could bring it in the house, it's that I was playing it low one day and I had the headphones in and
Oh,
I turned around and hit and knocked the cord out the jack. And,
it's fast.
and what song? Oh, it was on the It Ain't No Fun. The homies game. And I think it was, well, if Corrupt gave a fuck about a bitch, I'd always be broke. I never had no motherfucker. And it's like resonating through the house. And I'm like trying to hit every button to stop it. And that shit was just rocking. Man, the room was rocking, and I turn it off. She come in, I take the tape, I throw it, under the bed, tear up everything. Like, yo, and I turn on the radio. I try to turn on the radio, and she was like, "What was that? What was that?" I'm like, "What you talking about?" I'm like, "That's the independent radio station, WHPK and shit like that." She's like, "What a tape at?" I'm like, "What tape?"
It sounds just like you too.
Yeah, like what tape? What you talking about? What you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she was like, where's the tape at, boy? I heard that. I was like, it's the radio station. She was like, that ain't no radio station. Where is the tape? So I gave her I don't even know what I gave her. I think I gave her some other tape, but I definitely wasn't giving her that. I definitely wasn't giving her that.
Smart.
It
was a smart move. That was a smart move, man.
Yeah, she ended up, I forgot what she ended up getting. I can't remember what she got, but she took it from me and I went along with it like, okay, whatever. But she wasn't getting that. She wasn't getting that. At the time growing up, for me at least, and I say this all the time when people talk to me about it, West Coast music was more familiar to me than East Coast music was at the time because their story was closer to what we had going on in the Midwest and in Chicago, more so than what was going on the East Coast,
Agreed. Yeah. And I was even thinking about that with the whole Biggie and Pac. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking why Pac, for me, was so poignant, man. It just spoke to me so much. Because when he talks, it's like, you can just instantly connect to it. Either you or your buddies at school or somebody you knew that you thought about that was struggling in the street or actually lived that life hardcore. You can see that, man. You can see what he said. And I always thought he was just his voice, man, the way he spoke.
He was very charismatic. Very, yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. I was looking at this radio program. I forget the name of it, but they were talking about who's more lyrical, Pac or Biggie, and everybody's like Biggie, and I was like, not to me, man. I just thought that I love the way Pac spoke. I just love the energy he came with in his
Pac's delivery was good, but Biggie was a better lyricist. Biggie had word for word, bar for bar, better lyrics.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Tupac was just he was more charismatic. He delivered it better than Big did. Even though Big had a great delivery, Pac was more charismatic. Like if you go lyric for lyric, more than not, you're probably gonna look at Big and go, yo, Big was saying some of the dopest shit ever. And before he even reached his peak, you know what I mean? So
we have to disagree on that one too.
We can disagree, but for a motherfucker, what he say on one of them songs? I'm so thirsty. I forgot what it was. He said, but I'm cutting up the body and talking to the pieces. I was like, yo, Pac never said nothing like that.
Yeah.
His was just straight hardcore, straight hardcore lyrics. You know what I mean?
This is weird. Cutting up the body and talk to the pieces. This is just weird.
No, that ain't weird. It's just showing you how maniacal and crazy Big was when he was being a lyricist. You know what I mean?
But he wasn't doing none of that. See, that's what I'm saying. So to me,
that's lyricism.
Everything Pac said to me was believable. It was believable. Like I believe what Pac said when he said it. I didn't believe Pac. I didn't believe Biggie did any of the stuff he said. I mean,
you believe Pac?
Yes.
As long as you don't care if you blood or cuz, as long as you got love for thugs, and you believe Pac.
Come on.
Okay, yeah.
Most of the stuff that he said, I believe.
Nah, dog.
But you're right. No, but you're right. It's a certain delivery that made it just. I don't know. It's just the power he spoke with, man. He had this bravado. He had this bravado that made you believe, what he said, man. I don't know, but I agree with you on your point that just the West Coast in general, there's a certain feel there that I just felt connected to, man.
Yeah, them brothers they were doing the same type of things that we were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The drive-by music and shit like that. Like that was something that was already embedded in our culture here. As sad as it is that we were doing drive-bys and killings and everything and the whole dope game, but it was more relatable than. And it's not to say that there was anything wrong with the East Coast music, but like the 5%ers and everything, I wasn't completely aware of that. The way they were doing Supreme Mathematics and things of that nature. Even though they had spitters, they had dope spitters and everything like that. I just wasn't as tuned in at the time as I was with Dog Pound, The Chronic, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Young Bleed, and then you go down south and you got MJG and 8 Ball, Scarface, UGK. So